Hi guys, and welcome back to Melted Smiley Face. And I'm so excited today because this is the first video I'm filming on my brand new camera, and oh my god, I'm so excited. I have been like feeling that my old videos, as much as I liked making them, they felt a little bit harder for me to watch back because the camera quality was so bad. So I got a new camera and I'm no longer filming on my laptop. So I'm so excited to continue to make more things and have them look even better. So for today's topic, I want to talk about my relationship to my body and how it's complicated. I wouldn't say I necessarily hate my, but actually no, I don't. I would never say I am insecure to say about my body, but there's definitely things I wish I could improve. Let's say that. So all throughout my life, what I've realized about my body is that the relationship I have to it is different than the relationship everyone else has to it, especially the people around me, like my family. I realize that the way my family views my body is definitely as something they think that I should hide and cover up. And I understand why, because as someone with like just a lot of spots all over my body, I don't know if you can see them clearly, but I have spots all over my body. I have spots on my face, I have spots on my back, spots on my leg, and I've had those since I don't know if I've had it since I was born, but since I was very, very young. In Nigeria, we call it crab. I don't know if there is a scientific name for what skin condition I do have. And throughout my life, my family, I could tell that they were uncomfortable with my body, even though I never was, at least not too uncomfortable. Like when they would pick out clothes for me to wear, it's clear that the way they want me to dress is mostly due to how they want to not feel uncomfortable around my body and less about my own comfort and what I would like. Like, I remember just always needing to cover my legs because of all the things on my legs, or always needing to cover my arms and thinking like, well, I don't have a problem with this. Like, I understand the way that it looks, but it's not a huge deal to me, so I don't understand why it's such a huge deal to you. And I understand like other people's perceptions. You do worry about like making sure to other people you do look a certain way, but I always felt some way about it, and I definitely believe that if I was a less strong-willed person, I would definitely be deeply insecure about my body because of the way everyone has treated me. So let's start with the big and most visible one, the spots all over my body. Like I mentioned before, I've had spots all over my body since I was a very young kid. I honestly don't know how they manifested. My mom told me that when I was a kid, I used to cry a lot because I was always so itchy and I always needed to like scratch myself. So maybe that is where it came from, but I don't think I remember a timeline as to when the spots on my body first like manifested, and I've pretty much had them all over my body my whole life. They've faded and gotten darker and like come back. Some have completely gone, but like, you know. So one thing that definitely keeps the spots on my body is my obsession with scratching my skin. If I find a new bump on my body, a new bug bite, a new rash, I feel an deep compulsion to scratch it, even though I was unaware of it previously. Like if I'm running my hands down my arms or running my hands down my neck, my back, my legs, and I feel a bump, immediately I become aware of it. Now I need to scratch it. Now I need to poke at it. Now I need to prod at it. Now I need to break the skin and make sure. Always it ends up with me being bloody. And I never understood what started that compulsion or why I used to hyperfixate on scratching my body. I would say now I don't scratch my body as much, but I won't be lying if I said that it doesn't still happen sometimes where if I see a bug bite or I see a rash or something, like I am obsessed with picking at it. Like even my face, like you can see the spots that are forming on my face. Before, my face used to be clear, but as of recently, because I've been getting so many rashes and I've been feeling so compelled to itch them, it's leaving spots all over my face, which is really making me mad because my face was always clear, and that was something that I was like proud of, to have just one spot on my body that wasn't filled with like these little dark spots. But now it's taking over my face, and it makes me really sad. Because I am aware of my compulsion to constantly itch my body, I have tried many methods over the years to try to either reduce my compulsion to itch or clear the spots on my bodies, and none of them have really worked out well. One I distinctively remember, and I was a kid and I was living in Nigeria, I was living in Abuja. I remember my mom took me to Lagos and we went to get this like bitter leaf drink, and I was supposed to drink that I think twice a day, like morning and night, and it was supposed to like help clear the spots on my skin from within or something. I'm not exactly sure how it worked, but I honestly don't think I saw any results from it. I was just drinking this drink that I hated drinking every day, and nothing happened to my body. Another method I used, and I think I should probably pick up again, is nails. When I wear acrylic or gel nails or like press on nails, it is harder for me to scratch my skin, which makes it so that I am more irritated when I do get itchy because I never get that satisfaction. But I'm less likely to break skin and draw blood if my nails are duller from acrylics or from fake nails. And I think that maybe I should pick that up again so that I can leave less spots on my body going forward. I would say the last method that I've been trying to implement that has been the hardest for me to implement has been simply just trying to not scratch my skin. And the reason why that is harder for me is because I do feel compelled. I feel a compulsion. Sometimes I end up scratching my skin without even being aware that I'm scratching. It's literally until I come into consciousness that I realize that my leg or my arm is bleeding because I've been scratching this itch, and I'm just like, I didn't even know that, because I feel so compelled. So I have to find a way to really tackle this that isn't just telling myself to not scratch, because that doesn't work for me. The second part of this video about my body image, what I really want to talk about is my weight and how my weight has fluctuated my entire life. When I was a kid, I was actually skinny. Believe it or not, I was a skinny child. I don't know at what point I started actually, I do know at what point I started gaining weight, but when I was a kid, I was really skinny. Now, I think part of it was due to the ADHD meds that I was taking. Maybe it just made me not want to eat so much, and those come back around like in my teenage years. But when I was a kid, I was skinny, and then slowly I started to eat, and I started to eat a lot, and I don't even know if I was like eating my feelings or whatever, but I just started to eat almost voraciously. I would wake up in the middle of the night and go like eat breakfast sausages. I would have food under my bed because I was just like sneaking food to eat. I would eat so many just sugary things, ice cream, drink so much soda, and I didn't realize why I was doing that. And when it got to my teenage years, I got really, really fat, like so fat that I had to get gastric bypass surgery. Like the body that I have now is a product of bypass, because if I did not have bypass, I would be so much bigger than I am right now. And I'm not even joking. I would be so much bigger because I look back at pictures of me right before I got my surgery. I'm unrecognizable. My face was so big, my body was so big, and even at that time, I was kind of denying it. I was like unaware of how big I was. I kept on telling myself, oh, I'm not that big, because I knew that there were people that were bigger, but it was bad. And I genuinely believe that getting surgery did save my life, because who knows where it would have been if I didn't get that surgery. But just as a kid being skinny, then getting fatter in my teenage years, that I did bring those ADHD medications back so that I wouldn't feel so hungry, and it did suppress my appetite. Like, it did work. I remember I would take some before I go to school, so I would eat breakfast and I'd be okay. I'd eat lunch and then dinner, so I only ate 2 meals a day. But then I stopped taking those medicines, and the hunger came back just like that. Just like that. And now I'm at a place with my body where it's obviously not too big because of my surgery, but it's also not where I want it to be. And I don't think I'll ever get my body to be where I want it to be, unfortunately. One of the big reasons is because I do not consistently eat healthy or work out. I have tried at many points in my life to work out. I'd be like, okay, I'm going to work out 20 minutes a day, or I'm going to work out 30 minutes a day every day, and then I miss one day. And the thing about it is, if I miss even one day of working out, I'm never going back, because I have completely lost the motivation that I had to work out. And that's really upsetting to me, because I feel like I'll never achieve what I want to achieve because I don't have the willpower to achieve it. One thing I know for sure when it comes to working out is that I need to work out with a person. So I need workout classes, or I need like a partner to come work out with me, because there's something about having another person to hold you accountable to something that you have said you wanted to do that makes it easier to do it. I don't know whether it's like a part of me that's afraid of being scolded, or maybe I'm more afraid of disappointing other people than I am of disappointing myself. But there's just something about having someone else there that makes me sticking to a plan so much easier. The second, and I would argue the biggest reason why it is so hard for me to lose weight, is because I am an introvert. That's really it. I am an introvert who doesn't have many friends, and I don't go out often, which means most of the time I am spent alone, bored. And what do I do when I'm bored? Eat. I eat everything. I eat multiple meals. I eat snacks. I drink sugary drinks. I eat ice cream. Things that I know I don't need, I feel just compulsion to eat, because eating fills up the time that I would otherwise spend doing nothing, and makes me feel productive in a way. Like, not having friends, not having activities, not having a job has been so detrimental to my health, not just in a mental sense, but in a literal physical sense. And what I need to do in order to better my physical health, apart from eat healthy and work out, is I need to get activities. I need to find things that fill up my time outside of food, so that I can live a healthier life. All in all, like I said at the beginning of the video, my relationship to my body is complicated. It's not one based on hate, but it's also not one based on love. It's more based on forced content. If that I could describe it, that's the best way I can describe it. I am content with my body because I am basically forced to be. Well, thank you all for staying and watching, and I hope to see you next time. Goodbye.